Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Manjusha. I hope I'm audible. You can just type in the chat if my voice is clear. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in at 7. Hi, so absolutely clear. Thank you so much for joining in. I thought like all of you must be busy with your work and, maybe 7 was a little early, but thank you so much for joining in. Good evening. So let's begin. I think we'll start buying like on time so that you are not late for the next session, which is at 8 o'clock. But from next Wednesday onwards, since this Career Wednesday is a repeated session, so we'll be meeting at 8 from next Wednesday onwards. It's only for today so that you don't miss out on this particular session. That's why we've put this at 7 o'clock, guys. So we'll just begin without wasting any time. Now, just to quickly recap, I hope you remember what we did last time. What was the key takeaway from the last session and how many of you have actually started working on it? Yeah. Mandeep, we'll get back to you on that, whatever the next session. I just want to ask you, how many of you remember what we did in the first session of Career Wednesdays? Okay. You will have the recordings available. Of course, it will be uploaded on your LMS on Insaid Thursdays. It will be included in that. Definitely. Okay, building portfolio. Okay. Anything else that I asked you to work with? And somebody like, it was shared with you, creating GitHub dashboard. What else? Very good. You remember goal setting. Yes. So the career launchpad, like basically how you're launching your career to the next level. I shared a brief, roadmap with you, if you remember, right? Skill mapping. So we discussed about those things. Now, LinkedIn profile, yes. So what we'll do is every Wednesday, we are going to cover small topics so that it can help you and it can clarify a lot of doubts that you have. Because even then, I mean, if you still get stuck, you can definitely reach out to me for personal assistance and you're most welcome. So moving ahead, like, of course, all of you know, like, how to reach out to me. You have the email ID. You can definitely, get in touch with me. As you can see, my email ID is also mentioned here in this particular screen. So you can take a screenshot. You can definitely keep it for yourself. So it will be quite helpful for you. Now, wherever you get stuck, when you're working with the career roadmap tracker, and today what we're going to do is going to be really helpful from the job perspective as to what role you should be targeting. So I hope a lot of confusion will be clear. If you haven't attended the first session, guys, no worries. The recording is uploaded on your LMS with Insaid Thursdays. You can go under Insaid Thursdays and you can check it. You'll find my recording. So I don't think that should be a problem. It will be uploaded. And you can definitely drop an email right away at manjusha@insaid.co. So whenever you have any confusion, you can definitely write directly to me and expect prompt responses. In case you don't get, then I apologize. Sometimes it gets delayed, but I'll surely get in touch with you, right? So let's begin. Now, today, I want to touch upon a topic basically where a lot of you face issues, and which is, how do I shortlist data science roles? Tell me, how many of you have issues with shortlisting the right data science roles? You can share it in the chat. You can tell me, like, how many of you, Yogita is saying, Abhijit, okay. Yes, it would be nicer if you're more interactive and you're more participative. It will be faster. Like, it will be, the session is going to be smooth and you'll be benefiting more. And for me also, because it gets very boring if I'm just doing a monologue, right? So it has to be both ways. Great, Mimi. So basically, the idea is all of us are confused as to what job role do we focus on. But today I'm going to simply share a strategy which is going to help you in shortlisting the right job role. So for that, I will tell you a simple process or 3 steps that you can follow, and 3 pointers to consider before you look for any particular job role in any company. There are lots of companies, top companies, mid-segment companies, and startups, but how do you look at the kind of job role and what your skill set lies is something that we'll be looking at today. SWOT matrix, definitely all of you know that, how mapping Your strengths and weakness analysis is helpful, and that is something which I've been recommending since day one. So I hope you all are with me on this, that SWOT analysis is going to help you out. And there are various other factors we're going to be considering when you're looking at a career transition today. Yes, absolutely, we're going to look at what SWOT is. You'll get to know once we begin. Now, when I say strategy to shortlist, what do you understand by strategy to shortlist? Graduation or is mandatory? We'll be looking at questions towards the end, these sort of, okay, what is a strategy skill set? Okay, when I use this word strategy, what strikes you? What is it that comes to your mind that you think that this is a strategy or it should work? It's planning, very good. It's experience. Okay, come up with more terms. Think what clicks with you. Plan, smart way, great. Any other one word? Long-term plan, tricks, approach. Yes, all of this is correct. So basically, we are going to work on that. But today, what I'm going to tell you is, I'm going to tell you few pointers that will help you to work with it. And I will not tell you, I will not explain it to you, but I will make you realize it by looking at those rules. So if you have to look at these 3 rules, so I hope on the screen it's pretty visible. There are 3 data science roles that I've picked up. I just want you to look at these roles. For example, data analyst or business analyst role, data engineer, if you're looking to get into ML engineering or data scientist or any other role that you're looking at. Now, imagine you want to get into one of these 3 roles. Let's imagine we are taking this as an example. So what do we do? How do we get into this? And this is going to be very confusing because we don't know much about it. But there's a strategy that you can follow. And of course, when you're deciding, now when you look at this picture, tell me, do you relate to this character when you look at this picture? And do you think that this character somewhere is within you, or you're also one of, thinking the same way, whether I should go here or here? Yeah. Okay. But yes, definitely. So, but we are going to go beyond this character. It was just to make you understand that, yes, everybody is in the same boat. We all are sailing through it. But the idea is to overcome that particular stage and reach to that, situation. We're able to decide that this is good for me. This is not, I don't think I'm suited here. And I think I can plan my roadmap in this manner. Right? Now better. Great. Yes, Deepak said yes. Great. So the checklist that you have to follow before you join a particular job role or a data science role is, you are going to be looking at 3 things. First is your domain expertise. Domain expertise is what? It's basically the technical skills that you've gathered throughout. So you're going to be looking specifically at the domain expertise. Second, you're going to be looking at team compatibility. What do you understand by team compatibility? Any idea? Yes, I'm looking for some answers. Team player, okay, very good. Good. So compatibility means, marriage compatibility, you know about marriage compatibility, love compatibility. So similarly, you have team compatibility, right? Okay, should not be an odd one out. Great. See, specific personal questions, whoever has today, guys, what we're going to do is you can definitely connect with me for one-on-one, session. But right now, let's focus on the session and understand what strategy I'm going to follow, because I'm not going to address any personal questions today, because I want for the benefit of learning, we are going to be focusing on the particular strategy today. So of course, how compatible are you with that particular team? Are you compatible with that particular company? You're going to envision yourself before you're going to look at the culture fit. How culture fit are you for that particular organization? You're going to study that. Yes, coordination, harmony, team player, everything of that sort. And third is, of course, your soft skills. So these are 3 things that you're going to look at, especially when you're looking at something as important as career transition into a data science role. Now, today, how we're going to do that is in a different manner. I'm not going to explain anything to you. I want 3 volunteers, especially, professionals who are looking to get into data in a data analyst role, data engineer and data scientist. So we are looking for 3 volunteers who want to come online, because I want to do this quick activity with you and make you realize. So Sapna, which out of these 3 are you choosing right now? Are you looking at the data analyst, data engineer? So we are going to go with, okay, Pranav is for data scientist. We've got Pranav for data scientist. Perfect. Yes, Abhinav, you can keep looking at that. When I ask you to switch on, you can do that. For analyst, we have Gaurav, and Lopa, we have for data analyst. Okay, out of Gaurav, so since Gaurav, I saw yours first, so Gaurav, we go. Okay, Sapna was the first one, guys. I'll have to give it to her. I'm so sorry. Sapna was the first one. So Sapna, I'll give it to you. And Sapna will be for data analyst. Okay, so let's have Sapna. Can we have Sapna online? Abhinav, can you put Sapna?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Sapna. Good evening. Thank you so much. Okay, it's very simple and very interesting. You understood these 3 criteria that we're looking at: technical skills, non-technical skills, and team compatibility. Fine. So now simply, the first thing is technical skills, so domain expertise. So I want you to look at this slide and tell me, can you just read out few pointers from the slide for me?
The expertise required, like being good at statistics,
Very
and
good.
assisting companies in making effective decisions using
Data insights.
Data insights.
Great. So tell me, when you're looking at these pointers, are you able to analyze that how suited are you for this role, or how good are you in this particular skill? Is this more like a checklist that you can map for yourself? So you have to ask these questions to yourself and tell me that, are you good at statistics? Are you good with data insights? Yes.
Data insights, like I am still on the learning curve, but
correct.
Statistics, yes.
Perfect. Great. Great. You're mapping this, right? Next, look at these. You can
have experience in EDA and data visualization. Can I work with programs like R, SQL, and Python, etc.?
Yes, Sapna. So what do you think? Yeah.
Having worked on the project on EDA and data, not yet data visualization, but have an exposure about EDA. So yes. Work with the programs like R, not yet. SQL and Python, still on the curve.
Perfect. So see, Sapna, while talking to me, were you able to analyze what technical skills do you already have and what is currently missing and what you need to improve upon? Were you able to identify? Now, this is something, where did I get this information? From the job description.
Yes.
Isn't it? When you're reading the job description, all this is mentioned. I keep on saying this, read the job description carefully. So when you look at a job description of a data analyst, you will see what technical skills are required. So you analyze this and figure it out yourself, whether you have this or you don't, right? Now let's look at the second pointer that I told you, that was team compatibility. Now looking at this, can you look at it, Sapna, can you let us know that if you're compatible with this particular team, if you can look at it and tell me?
Communicate technical topics to non-tech audience effectively.
Right.
Possess business acumen to mediate between various stakeholders. How good am I at problem-solving skills?
Yes. What do you think, Sapna? Yeah.
First and last, I should be able to. And as regards business acumen, I think that it will require some training.
Perfect.
And some amount of knowledge about that. I don't have any idea about it.
Great. So that will also come with a little bit of hands-on experience, isn't it? So this is only like analyzing part of it, that you're doing that team compatibility. So you're saying that out of 3, 2 you're okay with and 1 you will like work at it, right? So you're able to somehow understand whether in this job role, what is it that what percentage of it I've already achieved and what is still lacking.
Yes.
Isn't it? Great.
Yes, ma'am.
Now we are going to be looking at soft skills. Now I would like everybody to look at the soft skills which you can see on the screen. I'll be sharing a couple of questions for the same as well. But by looking at these soft skills, you should be able to analyze and you should be able to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, where you currently stand and what you currently need to improve upon, because these specific soft skills are required. Now, these are general soft skills which I've told, but for data analyst role, these are few that I've really mentioned it and which are usually mentioned in a job role. So Sapna, would you like to read and tell us about that? Yeah.
Possess creativity to analyze and interpret data through business lenses. I hardly understand this. Am I
Creativity.
open-minded?
Just understand the creativity to
Yes,
analyze.
creativity
Yeah.
about how you present the
Correct.
data.
Very
That's
good.
like through R and Tableau maybe.
Correct.
Am I open-minded and objective while making data inferences? Yes. Do I have a great business
Understanding skill.
understanding skill?
Yeah.
I doubt that.
You doubt that.
Yeah.
So if you look
Yes.
at these 3 pointers, so were you able to analyze and understand what is required in a data analyst role and where you currently stand?
Yes,
Were you
ma'am.
able to? Yes.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
now, are you in a better state to make that decision if you are the right fit for this particular role or not? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
So this is what Sapna was just, I mean, I just wanted to share this live example with everybody so that you know how to map what is expected and what is currently lacking. And this is how you're going to map it. Thank you so much, Sapna. Now let's move on to the next person who was contending for the role of data engineer. Can we have volunteers for data engineer again? Yes. Anybody was contending for the data engineer? The second one? 3 participants, okay? Let's just quickly move on with the first one who's, yes, so we have, okay, the first I saw was Nitin. So, Abhinav, can we have Nitin online with us today? Nitin, when you're online, just say a hi. Yes, Abhinav, you can put Nitin online. Hi, Nitin. Good evening.
Hi, good
Hi,
evening.
good evening,
Audible?
Nitin. Yes, absolutely audible. Thank you so much for volunteering, Nitin. I hope the activity is pretty clear, right?
Yep.
Perfect. So, Nitin, let's start with the domain expertise first. So, this is for a data engineer. So, I would just like you to read the slide and quickly, analyze how suited are you in, particularly for this role.
Yeah. So, with regards to the data engineer, do I have an extensive background in frameworks like Hadoop, Python, and NoSQL, etc.? No, I'm on learning curve for Python particularly.
Perfect.
Do I have experience in promoting data accessibility? Oh, I doubt. I guess I doubt.
Okay, so that means you have analyzed that this is something that is going to be expected out of you in the job role and what is currently missing. So you know what is the next step to do. You will be working at it. You'll be improving these skills. This is how you're going to do skill gap analysis. If you want to get into the role of the role of a data engineer, so you are going to be just assessing this particular simple technique. Now let's look at the team compatibility. Yes.
Yeah. Am I collaborative and team oriented? Yes. Am I
Good.
familiar with team's methodology of choice of frameworks? Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I would say yes.
Perfect. So basically, that means you are absolutely with the second pointer, you're thorough with it. You're quite suited for that.
Yes.
Yes. Now looking at the soft skills.
Yeah. So let's evaluate the soft skills. Do I possess great technical and non-technical communication skill to interpret teammates' requests? Yes. Am I open to adapting to team's methodology of success? Yeah. I think I'm comfortable with adopting any methodology.
Great. So that means out of 3 things, it was only technical where you were lagging behind, isn't it? Where you were lagging
the
a
first
little.
one. Yeah.
Perfect. So you were able to analyze for a data engineer role where you're currently lagging and what you need to improve upon. Have you got clarity?
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you so much for volunteering. Thank you and all the best. Thank you. Now let's have the next volunteer for the third role, which is the role of a data scientist. Okay, Ajay. Ajay wanted to join in for data scientist. Great. Anushri Singh for data scientist. Okay. So guys, we can have Anushri right now. Somebody, if we've missed out on, I can have you towards the end. So don't worry about that. Anushri, Abhinav, can we have Anushri? Can you unmute her?
Hi, ma'am. Am I
Hi.
audible enough?
Absolutely audible. Great, Anushri. Let's begin. So you want to be a data scientist? Let's analyze, okay? So, yes, Anushri. For
So the
domain expertise.
expertise
Yeah.
needed for this role as it goes is the experience in bringing order to large disorganized data sets. So as obviously we are studying data science, I believe I'm on the go to having a proper knowledge on that.
Perfect.
And the next one is excelling at machine learning models and programs like Python. I have adequate knowledge on Python and machine learning. Both the things, data sets and machine learning, are two fields that I am learning. So yes, I hope to get better, much better on it by the course of
Perfect.
the finishing the course.
Great. So out of these two, you know that you're currently in the like that learning curve and you're improving.
Oh,
You are not saying
yes.
absolutely zero or you have
No.
zilch knowledge, right? Now, in
No.
that case, if anybody has like zero or absolutely like no knowledge, that means you will have to start from the basics. You'll have to start working at it. So that is how you need to start preparing for it, right? So let's
Okay.
look at the
Yes.
next. Yeah.
Okay, so compatibility, team compatibility is have I ever collaborated with data engineers, analysts, and other data scientists? So it is a total no for me because this is the first time I am studying data science. My
Perfect.
previous job roles have been in a different domain.
Okay.
So yeah, so that
So
is like
does this give you an idea that when you are switching to this particular role, you will have to collaborate with the other, the engineers and data science? So this gives you that clarity, and you should be mentally prepared that this is how you'll have to tweak your working for it, right?
So
Okay.
just asking one thing to be clear on this point. So basically, I'll have to communicate through like whatever online platform with engineers, analysts, so that and scientists, so that I can have a much better understanding of the subject, right?
Perfect. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. 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 The second point is, am I able to suggest changes during architectural issues? I believe by the time I am done with the course, I will definitely be able to give my point of view as well when hopefully I get the job.
Perfect. So, yes, absolutely. I mean, it also depends on the years of experience and the kind of hands-on
Hmm.
experience you're going to have. I mean, see, yes, you can finish this, then I'll just share my pointers. Yes, let's look at
Okay.
the soft
Okay.
skills for you.
Okay. Do I possess great technical and non-technical communication skills to interpret teammates' requests? From my previous domain, I have at least learned this much, that how much a teammate's request and all that stuff matters. So I am cooperative enough, I believe. And
Okay.
the second point, as it goes, am I open to experimenting with data across the company?
Hmm.
I guess I can.
Okay.
I'm not very
So it's
sure
a it's a
because
it's a very responsible role. You have to understand the
yes.
role of a data scientist is very responsible, and you have to take some important decisions for the company. Okay.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
you have to understand how senior that role is, if particular
Yes.
experience is also required. So that will come only with time and
Time. Yes.
expertise. Yes.
Correct. Correct.
Correct.
Oh. Am I able to dissect key analytical questions in pragmatic, in
Practically, in a
pragmatic
pragmatic
manner?
manner. Yeah.
Um, I believe I'll be able to build on that. I won't say that is perfectly what I have right now, but yes, I have to work on that.
Correct. So you understand how much effort you'll have to put in if you have to crack
Yes.
the data scientist role? Have you understood that for yourself, Anushri?
Yes. Exactly.
Great.
Yes, I have.
Yes. Great. Thank you so much, Anushri, for
Ma'am,
coming on time.
Manjusha, I
Yes.
just have one question, if it's
Yeah.
okay to ask. Yeah.
Yes.
So, AI is what I'm very interested into. So I just
Actually,
wanted to know.
Anushri, just wanted to tell
Okay.
you, for any personal queries, we'll connect separately.
Okay.
Okay. Right
Fine.
now,
Fine.
this is
Not.
not the platform. Okay. Thank you so
Okay.
much for
Thank you.
connecting. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So guys, I just want to tell you one thing. Like here, what I was sharing was just a basic framework. Now, the role that you are targeting, whether it is ML, AI, specifically, or it is related to, any specific role of a data scientist, data engineer, machine learning engineer, or business analyst, what you need to do is, first thing, read through the job description, look at technical skills, soft skills, and third, study the company really well as to the company that you're looking at, what kind of team compatibility you're expected to have. If you can understand those three things, you can analyze where you currently stand. If you are in that perfect match, you have that perfect match with that particular role, you are 100% you're going to be selected. But if there is a mismatch, then please take that time off and try to work on the skill gap and move ahead with the next step. Now, even now, let me tell you, like, you will have a lot of confusion. This is not just going to happen in one day. So I would just say, follow this particular, you can say, strategy to crack that role, to understand where you are suited. Thank you so much, Lakshmi. If the explanation was really good, next time when you guys are coming for personal career assistant session, you should tell me that I have decided I'm going to be suited for this role. Now I have, analyzed my particular specific job role in the companies, and now where should I be going in for? Please ensure that you work on that. Any sort of questions, guys, we can look at it towards the end. Yes, data analyst is generally like a primary role, like a basic role of business analyst. It's just that I've just given you three different roles, and I was just sharing examples. I was just working with the process of thinking how you can think through it. Now, Abhinav, I would request you to start. Let me just share the poll. Yeah. So let's have the first poll. I just want you to quickly look at your screens and choose your dream role or the role that you're targeting in this year. Yes. Okay, guys, so the time ends. And let me share the results with you as well. So as you can see, the percentage, 34%, 47% for data scientist. Where can I find the recorded lecture? Okay, you can find it on Insaid Thursdays. You will just get it. I've already shared. Yes. So as you can see the result, as you can, now when you have shortlisted the role, try using the strategy, and you can share your experience like with me over email, and, come back that, this is what I've shortlisted for myself. This is what is lacking, and this is what I need to be working upon. Please make it a little self-evaluative kind of a technique, wherein you know where you're good at and what you're currently lacking. Let's move ahead, guys. Now, second thing that I really want to be working with is, of course, SWOT. A lot of you are already aware of it. A lot of you have already gone through it during the career assistance where I've spoken about this. But today I want to specifically cover this for your benefit. Now, SWOT, as you can see, is what? It's a framework to evaluate what? It's going to help you in evaluating your 4 things. One is, of course, strengths. The other is weaknesses. Third is opportunities. And four is definitely threats. This is a simple definition that I've framed for you. You can even take a screenshot if you want, but this is just for understanding point of view. But how you're going to apply it for your benefit in reaching that particular job role is something which we are going to be looking at today. So, of course, why is it useful? Any idea why is SWOT useful? Why is it even required? Gap, okay. View, yes. Anything else? Yes. What else? Better decision making, perfect, very good. Any other reason why we have the SWOT? Know yourself better, analyze ourselves. Okay, you can just text. Ajay, you can share it in the message itself. Okay, current status, where I stand in market today. Perfect. So you're going to be, yes, absolutely, improvement. So strengths are nothing but how strong currently you are. Now, when you talk about strengths, what comes to your mind? If you have been a professional with over 20 years, let's assume, okay? So what strengths are you going to showcase that you're going to start focusing on, start, publishing or build a brand on technical, okay, just technical strengths, domain knowledge, very good. What else? Okay, leading skills, perfect, very good. Anything else that is required? Communication, right? Yes, overall, your personal, professional strengths, domain exposure, all of that. Another thing, your profile on LinkedIn has to be extremely strong. You have to start networking really well. Networking skills are very, very essential if you want to be successful in your career. And this is for a person like with 5 years, 10 years, 20, 25 years, all across. So it's for everybody actually. So how do you evaluate your strengths? Now you can look at the screen and you can definitely, answer this for yourself. You have to be, a lot of it you've already answered, but this specifically you have to prepare, you have to map with so many years of experience, what kind of domain expertise do I have? And if I'm looking at a career transition, what more skills do I need to definitely work upon, do I need to gather, and what knowledge, segments do I have to work upon, right? So you have to look at everything, right? From technical, soft skill, degrees, certification, positive traits, everything you have to be, yes. But when you say jack of all trades, then you also end up by saying master of none. So I don't want you to be, I want you to be master of that one domain that you're looking at. So definitely target that. And that is something that you need to right away, look at when you're analyzing your own personal, professional strengths and how you can use those strengths in getting into that next role. Now, these are few skills that I can definitely showcase, definitely. So these are few skills that you can look at. Now, out of these skills, tell me what is it that you when you're mapping skills also, definitely this sheet is going to be very helpful because you can right away see out of these 10 skills, what are you absolutely best with and what skills do you lack at the moment and where you haven't even started. So these are few pointers that you need to keep in mind. So quickly, by looking at these skills, would you like to share anything that about these skills, that you're good with stats or critical thinking is amazing, pipelines model, okay, Mandeep is sharing, is a miss, okay. Anybody else wants to share about their skills? Okay, Zaid is saying critical thinking. Great, Zaid. Ashok is saying critical thinking again. Okay, Sham, I need to learn many of these. Great. So you can take a screenshot and you can keep working on it. You can, in fact, keep mapping, what you're getting better at. Building pipelines. What is building pipelines, guys? That you can discuss later as well. Yes, problem solving, critical thinking, Nitin is saying critical communication, teamwork. So great. So more than 4 to 5 skills you're pretty good at. Ashok is saying problem solving, analytical. Varun is saying analytical. Sapna is saying statistics, communication, teamwork. So like this, you can map and you can definitely put them under your strength section. This is basically few skills I'm sharing with you. Other than this, whatever your skill sets are, you're going to mention it under the strength point. That is what your strength is, right? Now, weaknesses. Now tell me, are you scared of your weaknesses? How many of you are scared of your weaknesses? So Tushar, is programming a strength or weakness for you? Yes, yes, yes. You're scared of your weakness. Yes, okay. So when you look at the weakness, but what is the biggest weakness for us? As you can see on the screen, what is the biggest weakness for you? Yes, absolutely. When you want to give up. When you give up that this is something that I just can't do. Oh my God, AI is so tough. Oh my God, ML is so tough. I am from a non-programming background. How will I do programming? So these are some questions, you always want to give up. But that is the time when you can actually, nobody is asking you to master it, but you can always try and give it your best. If you're not able to do it at all, it's fine, but give it some time, like keep tracking your progress. So giving up is one thing that's the biggest weakness. I think there's no bigger weakness than giving up. So this is something that I would like you to, state here, that when it comes to you, just think that even though this particular skill might be difficult, I may not be from the same background, doesn't matter. Even if I have got 20 years of experience, this is a new field for me, just doesn't matter. but you carry that experience, you carry that particular skill, and how you can use that, how you can package the latest upskilling that you're doing, that is something that you should be focusing on. So when you're analyzing your weaknesses, literally, you're going to be looking at any sort of skills. Of course, laziness is the biggest weakness. And for a lot of us, especially, sitting at home during this pandemic phase, we've all become very lazy. Yes, absolutely. So we need to be looking at, what feedback we've been getting from our team members, from our seniors, what technical or non-technical skills we need to be improving, and how can we improve our personality overall. Because when you're in a technical role and suddenly you're transitioning into a managerial role, not just technical knowledge is enough. You need to have the managerial, grip. You need to ensure that your communication is very effective, whether it is verbal, written, or it is any other form of, or it's like virtual, the way we are trying to communicate, right? So you need to ensure that you're working on these weaknesses. If there are any personal weaknesses like procrastination or your laziness, or there is no will, then they also need to be addressed. Because technical skills is one thing, but your mental strength and how you can cope with the situation is something which you have to learn and you have to master with time. So all of us are dealing with it. It's not like just one professional is dealing. All of us are sailing with you can say, in the same ship. So we need to work with it together. So that is why this career assistance sessions are definitely helping you in that. Sometimes you know the answer, but you just want to speak to a coach just because you want to hear that particular answer. And that's about it. So that's what I'm saying. Analyzing your weaknesses will be really helpful. It will be a stepping stone to your success. So next is, of course, your opportunities. You've mapped your strengths, you've mapped your weaknesses, and now how do I tap into my opportunities? So tell me, do you think that after you've mapped your strengths and weaknesses, you will be able to map into the right opportunities? Yes? Okay. Lokesh is saying yes. Any other opinion on this? Okay, great. Perfect. So that means you know how you can definitely look at the opportunities. But where do you get this opportunity? In your current organization. So even if the best career advice, the best, you can say, way to career transition is to start looking for opportunities within your organization in a different domain. If I want to get into the role of, let's say, analytics, or I want to join as a data engineer, if I can have experience in my current company in that particular domain, even if I can shadow it, it's more than enough. So that is how I need to start. It's not suddenly we are looking for transition like this, like in a jiffy. It's not going to happen, because what you're going to do is you will be taking those small steps and progressing towards it. And for this, looking for a new project and as to how you can contribute within your organization, if there is a possibility, please build on great networking with your managers, with your colleagues, with your management people, and try to say that you would like to contribute. Contribute is a word that every employer wants to hear. Do you agree with me? That contribution is one word that every employer wants to hear, that how their employees. So yes, so if you know that it's one word, that if you say that you would like to contribute for them, or you'd like to take up and you'd like to work a little extra for them, take on extra responsibilities, will they stop you? Yes or no? Most definitely they will not. They will encourage you. So tell them that you are upskilling and you want to take care of those extra responsibilities, extra projects, and you'd like to participate. This is the first way that you can actually look for any transition. When you say that I don't have any hands-on experience, what do I write in my resume? The first thing I tell you is look for opportunities within the organization. Just don't look outside immediately. Contribute is the word that you should actually add to your resume. I keep on saying that also. Great, Pratik. Thank you so much. Now, next is, of course, about connections and network, which I keep on telling you that, we are definitely going to have one session on LinkedIn branding as to what you can be doing, different tips. But right now, let me just tell you that if you build a great network within your current organization and then you expand it on LinkedIn, I think like it's a small world. It's a small global world on LinkedIn. You can be connected to anybody who's sitting in the US, across wherever. There is no time difference, nothing. So make use of technology and get connected to the right people. Do you agree with this point? Yes. If you're looking for opportunity outside your organization, which is fine, but the easiest is if within your organization, if you can get hands-on experience, that's the first thing to start with. Now, look for the job openings in that particular job role that you want to transition. If there are job openings within the organization, if you can leverage, if you can get into that skill, if you're already upskilling and you can leverage to that particular role, you can make a switch. Please feel free to connect with your organization, the head. Please feel free to connect with your managers and make it very clear that I am interested in contributing, in, serving better in this manner, and I can definitely participate in more projects. So I would like to take on some more extra responsibilities. So this is the manner that you're going to be convincing them. So this is how you're going to tell them that, you won't tell them that you're looking for a shift. What are you telling them? That I would like to contribute in this manner because this is an additional skill that I've gained and I really want to give it to the organization. So this is the way you need to project your skills in the right manner. Okay. Now, after opportunities comes even more exciting part, which is threats. So tell me, are you scared of threats? How many of you are actually scared of threats, or you don't really care about threats? You think the threats don't exist for you? Yes, I want to see in the chat, like, how many of you are actually scared of threats? Okay, Ashok is saying, I am. Shweta, yes. I'm a threat. You are a threat. Wow. Who isn't scared a lot? I thought all of you will say, no, we are not scared of threats. Okay, somebody is saying no. Sometimes you're scared of threats. So threats are always there. This pandemic, throughout, we've been living with a threat, isn't it? So when you can live with a threat like this of coronavirus, why are you scared of actually moving out of your zone and, getting into that zone wherein you actually face your fears or face your threats? So here, what you're going to do is, the only way to overcome those fears and those threats is to overcome the personal weaknesses that you've created in your mind. First, the threat is created over here, then you see it happening in front of you. One is, of course, it's there, there's so many people contending, why would they choose me when I don't have any technical skill and that is required? How will I justify? So what did I say? You will have to have that, getting that first project, getting that hands-on experience. Until you do that, until you prepare your GitHub profile, until you have a good social networking, you have to start believing that you're aligning with the system, start collaborating, start, aggregating a lot of knowledge, a lot of information related to the field of data science. Be in touch with the latest data science trends, follow a lot of data science leaders, watch YouTube videos. It will be really helpful for you. Insaid offers so many sessions, and you can, even if you keep on watching recorded sessions, I'm sure you'll have you won't even have that much time to do it. So what you need to do is, there are threats, but what is more powerful? My decision to overcome those threats. So for that, what am I going to do? I will be upskilling myself. I'll be definitely working with the technology which is required. There are a lot of threats. There are a lot of weaknesses in all of us, but if we just get stuck there, we'll never be able to move beyond it. So we have to accept that there is something which is lacking. And once I've realized it, now next step is to overcoming that particular weakness. And once I do that, automatically threat is just going to vanish. So that is how you have to make it very simple and uncomplicated in your mind first. Because a lot of professionals, they come to me, they are half the time they're just thinking because they're very complicated in the thought process. So that is something that you have to really ensure. There is no biggest fear than this. I believe this fear of corona has taught all of us this. So let's go beyond these threats that we have. Now, this is, of course, a personal SWOT analysis. This is a sheet that you can be using. I'll be sharing one towards the end. Abhinav is going to share it before we end the session, he's going to be sharing it with you. You will have to prepare your own, do your own SWOT analysis, and you can definitely share it with me. You can definitely get in touch with me on my email. You can definitely enroll for career assistance sessions, and definitely you can, share with me as to how you're progressing in your career journey. And even if there are few technical, like issues where you feel some problem is difficult and you don't know or understand a concept, well, always reach out. Always, before reaching out, go through the recordings, go through your basic concepts, watch a couple of videos, go online, read. And that's how you're going to be get connected with the right professionals, is something that you're going to be working with. But change this mindset that it's very difficult, because it's difficult. That is one thing, that if you've accepted that, but you are putting in that kind of effort, so it's going to become easy for you. So here, of course, working with SWOT analysis, as you can see, it's clearly indicated. You can definitely take a screenshot. You can refer to this. And in fact, I'll also be sharing a separate sheet towards the end for you to do your task. I hope this is clear what you have to do in this particular session, right? This is a task for you. Great. So moving ahead, now the most important thing, I'm going to just quickly share another poll with you, which will be helpful. Okay, so let's look at the next poll. Okay, let's do one thing. We'll do a poll in a bit. Let's complete this session so that it's quite helpful for you. Now, tell me, a lot of you asked this question: how long will it take for me to transition or reach that particular job role? Now, you tell me a time period where you think it's going to take. How long is it going to take according to you? Any idea that you think? 90 days. Okay. So let's do one thing. Let's just yeah. Right. So 5 years, 1 year, 9 years. Great. So you're giving me all time, right? You must have thought of something and you're giving me time, right? 5, 6 months to 1 year, 14 what? 14 days or 14 years, Nitin? Not sure. 3 months. Actually, 21 days. Perfect. I like that answer. 1 to 2 years. So see, till the end of 2022. So nobody is very sure and nobody is certain. But here also there is there is something that you can do with it to actually lead or reach to a particular conclusion, which is, it totally depends on few factors. 4 factors it actually depends on. So if you look at 4 factors, you'll be able to identify how long this transition is going to take. Because when somebody asks me how long, it's like, I'm just saying it in a very funny way, but if somebody asks me how long, when am I going to get married? When do you think I will get married? Nobody has an answer for that. But here specifically, because that is an uncertain thing, you don't know. When you meet the right match or the right person, you can think of marriage. But here, when you're looking at a job role or a data transition, there are few factors which are within your control. When you were looking at the SWOT analysis, you knew what was within your control and you knew something which was not in your control. So here, these are few factors that you should always consider, right? So of course, if your current experience or your experience of all these years, whether it's 5 years, 10 years or zero experience, you're a fresher. So whatever you have gained till now, whatever experience you've had as a professional, whatever certification you've done, if that is related to data science, you need to understand that how closely are you in sync with that role. If there is a lot of gap and you think you will have to work a lot, then the time is going to be a little longer than what you expected. If it's closely linked, or if it is a part of your current organization and you can make a switch and you can get that hands-on experience, so the time is going to be slightly less. So these are few things that you need to consider. And of course, the idea, like how good are you with logical thinking, how fast you can master the concept. So these are few logical questions that you need to be answering than just randomly thinking this is the time period that I think it will take. Because you can only answer this question. You have this kind of liberty to say that yes, I can master this concept. Let's say next 2 months, I'm going to definitely be great with programming. I'm going to be definitely great with, Python. So that is something that you as a professional can tell us. So you let us know. You tell me in my sessions, that I think I'm very good with these skills. These skills is something that I'm still working on. So you let us know that how long will you take to master that. Other than that, of course, uh, you know, your programming, if you're a programmer, non-programmer, how good are you with number crunching, with data identification, with data analyzing, with reaching at meaningful insights of data. So this is data visualization technique. Somebody's storytelling is great, somebody's storytelling may not be very great, somebody's visualization techniques may be better, at times they are not that good. So these are few things that you need to be right away looking at. Once you identify that, you can certainly look at the time gap. But yes, definitely you should be prepared for couple of months that, this is the time period I will master the concepts, I will work with my weaknesses, I will work with my weak areas, and I'm surely going to go ahead and reach out to the next level, right? So these are few factors you can definitely be considering, which will be helpful in terms of how long the transition is going to be taken, right? And of course, these are those important skills that you require for any data science role. You can, of course, keep this in mind. You can take a screenshot, and what percentage of it are you already, in sync with? What is it that you're currently lacking? So you can map your, results in that manner, right? So going forward, I just want to ask you one thing. When you are identifying these skills, or when you're looking at any sort of data science job role, tell me, what is that one thing that definitely attracts you towards that job role, or what is it that really, interests you about that job role? What are you looking at? Are you looking at the company? Are you looking at the responsibility? Are you looking at the pay package? Are you looking at the employer? Money. That's a great answer. Okay. Shraddha is saying research. Yogita is saying company. It's role, company. Okay. Responsibilities. Faiz is saying challenges. Challenges we can solve. Correct. Culture, passion, as well as package. Okay. Money, opportunity. Yes, absolutely. So these are few things, like definitely you need to be, looking at that, how good work-life balance. So these are all factors, like, motivating factors that you need to be looking at when you're looking at any switch, or you're looking at a new role specifically. Of course, I would just like to say one more thing to you guys, that the idea behind career assistance is to assist you in reaching or cracking that data science job role, which means you need to prep your technical domain skills. And second, you need to have great soft skills. You need to work on that. And third is, of course, you need to be looking at good hands-on project. So when you're doing your capstone project, when you're working on like getting that hands-on experience, ensure that you showcase it. If you don't have a GitHub profile, you can definitely reach out. You can start watching videos. You can look at, Insaid recorded sessions where GitHub, videos are already recorded. Watch those, work on building a great data science portfolio, which will be helpful for your career journey ahead. So these are few things that you would definitely have to work upon. Now, guys, I believe you have the next session for, so which is time for 8. So because of that, I had to conduct it, a little early. I wanted to give you a, 3-4 minutes breather as well today. Yes. And for that, I would just say that you can definitely reach out for, you can start working with Abhinav. You can share the SWOT document with them. You can share the link with them. They'll be able to access it, and you can just do it right away. So guys, we'll be ending the session today. And I would just give you like a 2-3 minutes breather before your next session, so that you can be prepared for that. And I hope this session has been insightful. Whatever learnings, key learnings you've had, it would be great if you can share your key learnings on Insaid with Insaid LinkedIn page using the hashtag Career Wednesdays. You can talk about today's session, and you can definitely talk about how this career Wednesdays, or how career assistant sessions are helping you in building your, or assisting you in your career journey better. Wherever you get stuck, you have any sort of confusion, you can definitely reach out to me. The emails that sometimes, like, they reach out to you, or you can, my official number is also mentioned. You can just directly call me on that. My email ID is manjusha@insaid.co. You can definitely reach out to me on that right away, right? So thank you so much. And Abhinav, are you sending the link? Can you upload, can you share the document with them, the SWOT sheet with them, so that they can just access that and they can share their, yes, shared, great. So that has already been shared, guys. Access that and definitely share and come back with a feedback as to, where you're using it and how, what all you've mapped for yourself. Work with the tracker that I shared last time, because we are going in a sequence, and we are going to meet next Wednesday, which is the 26th. And please join in for the session, because I will try to cover something which is very important as resume. We are going to be looking at various parts of it. So don't miss out. That session will be at 8 o'clock. So thank you. Yes, thank you so much for attending, and you have a great evening, and you can continue with the next session, guys. Thank you so much.